أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم everyone. Good afternoon, morning or evening, wherever you're located. Today, inshallah, we'll be going through the Tajweed rules of Meemu Saakinah. As you all seen earlier, posted into our expert Quran readers community. So if you're not in the expert Quran readers Facebook community, quickly join that community so you can get access to real-time announcement about classes. And also you will be able to watch back the replays of our lessons from that community as well. So it's really important. All the lessons videos of our Tajweed curriculum for the last, say, 2 years right now, you have access to all those recorded lessons. And so you and your family can check through these modules together and watch together with the kids and learn to perfect and brush up your Tajweed skills with us here for free without paying anything in this live session every Sundays. So today, inshallah, we'll be looking into what you've all seen on the reminder posts in the community and on our Facebook page. We'll be talking about the ahkam of rule of Meemu Saakinah in the class today. And like I mentioned last week, we finished 8th module of our accelerated Quran reading program curriculum in just 4 months. We started August, and here in November, we finished in November. So the last 2 modules which I will teach before the end of this year, these are modules that will teach students who have finished the level 1 program and also now in level 2, which is the rules of Meemu Saakinah, which we'll take this week. And next week we'll be taking and learning the rules of waqf, the alamat, the signs of stopping and pausing the Quran recitation, so that you can give the best meaning to recitation of the Quran and give the best pause, the best pace and articulation and pronunciation of the ayat. So that will be the last module which we'll be learning next week. So if you're really excited, you're not wanting your child to learn the Quran without having the Tajweed foundation, so we have a program here at Mahir Academy. It's a 4-month program that we've used for the last 5 years to help students at the age of 5, if they're 5 and above, so they can learn to recite the Quran on their own within 4 months. If this is a goal that you have in mind, we've had hundreds of students here and parents who are able to achieve this goal for their kids in the shortest time possible. And so if you are really excited about the possibility for a child to do that, and it's a priority to you right now, you want your child to be able to memorize the Quran, because once a child is able to read the Quran themselves fluently, then the hifz will be a lot much easier, inshallah. As we've seen in our program here, students who have finished the program, they will go home and recite the Quran themselves, read it, memorize, and come to the class and practice together their murajah. So let's go together and talk about this module today. So Meemu Saakinah, which is the 9th module of our curriculum. So what is about this module that I want to talk about is it's a rule that's not, like you call it, it's not a concept that will make you lose the meaning of the Quran recitation, but among the beauty of Quran recitation in terms of applying the ahkam, the rules or the principles that governs recitation of the Quran. Like everyone here today, we want to do something. You want to become a doctor. You want to do it professionally and do it the best way everyone is doing it. You want to be a lawyer, you go to law school and get it done correctly. But it's so unfortunate that many Muslims today, a lot of us, we are Muslims, but sometimes we don't want to actually be good Muslims, understanding our religion and practicing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do in the religion. And more so, even aside from practicing the rules, the basic tenets of Islam, learning to recite the Quran should be a learning goal that every parent across the globe should have for their kids. And of course, we all have other goals we want our kids to achieve, but you see, the goals that will take them to Jannah, that will even be beyond the goals of being a doctor and being a lawyer or whatever profession you want them to take in this world. Getting them to be a fluent Quran reciter will go a long way to help them structure their future and get them blend into the society as Allah wish. So let's talk about this, and this is part of our journey in our effort, our vision to help bring the brilliant Quran light to everyone's doorstep. So that's the motto and the vision of Mahir Academy here. So you see, there are two memes on the screen there, and for all of you who have followed this webinar for the last, I'll say, 2 years or more than that, when we started taking these modules online, what we do, and I love to do, is to teach these modules every 4 months, and so that anyone who missed the first 4 months can catch up the next, time and get to learn to read with us. So be it your child is a beginner, or your child is an intermediate reciter that needs to learn the Tajweed rules, or maybe a child is already understood all the Tajweed rules and they just need to do their hifz. We have all those levels in our program, okay? So the Meemu Saakinah, right? Or Meemu Saakinah. This is a concept that you will see the beauty of it. And it's really going to add more beauty and more accuracy to your Quran recitation and give you more confidence when you see something in the Quran and how do you pronounce it. Sometimes people are not really aware of how to do the pronunciation and they get lost. Like, oh, and they do pronounce wrongly and making the meaning of the Quran words change. So, Meme Sakin by definition is any meme that's silent, right? So the silence of a meme is of two types. So it could either be the meme is maskun, right? It has a sign that indicates the silence, which we all know when we say it. Some meme will have nothing. They will not have any vowel sound onto them. Some of them will have a vowel sound, like sorry, they will have the sukun symbol that we've learned earlier in this program here in this discussion. You see, when you have a meme that's having this kind of half circle sukun, it has its own different rules compared to a meme that has nothing, right? Compared to a meme that has nothing. A meme that has nothing will pronounce differently than the meme that doesn't have anything. Okay, the meme that has something will pronounce different from the meme that doesn't have anything. The meme that has the sukun will not have a gunna, right? Will not have a gunna. Whereas the one that have nothing will have a gunna. And that's why you see these ayat, if I recite them to you, it's pronounced differently. So let's recite this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لأنتم أشد رهبة. You see, I stopped and applied the rules we've all learned for the last 4 months, right? So I stop on this ta al-marbuta with what? With a hat sound, right? So see the way I pronounce this. I pronounce this. لأنتم أشد رهبة. Right. But this will be بأسهم بينهم شديد. See how I did the gunna here. So what will inform a student to know they will do gunna here, right? There's a form of gunna that goes with the nisa sound for 2 counts. So you pronounce this. This one is Meemu Saakinah here, rule here. Okay, there are 3 rules we'll learn today. So this is going to be, you have to do gunna for 2 counts. Okay, for 2 counts. بأسهم بينهم شديد. You see how I pronounce it? This one is لأنتم أشد رهبة. But this is بأسهم بينهم شديد. Or look at this beautiful ayah. ما قطعتم من لينة أو تركتموها قائمة على أصولها. You see, it's a very long one. Of course, kids in this level of our program, learning module 8, should know how to read this ayah. I mean, if they're 5 years old, 6 years old, at this point in the module, they all know how to read this kind of long ayah. So that's why I actually put it to teach them towards the last part of the course, right? So you see that I did gunna here and I did gunna here as well. And if you've actually catch up with one of my lesson earlier, maybe this year, I think it was this year or last year, I discussed about the 4 types of gunna. Okay, I talk about what is the gunna and where does gunna sound come out from. And I talked about this. Go check our YouTube channel. Go check this Facebook community on expert Quran readers. We have over 860 members, students and parents in that community. You'll be able to watch all those videos there. And also you can go into our YouTube channel. Go to Mahir Academy channel. You see there, I've done a lesson about gunna, but this one is a complete gunna here, right? So it's a complete gunna that you're gonna do for 2 count. So let's talk about the different rules and what classifies the different type of Meemu Saakinah rules today. Okay. Um, so like you can see, the first one we'll talk about here is called the Ikhfaa Shafawee. Ikhfaa Shafawee, uh, like we call it in the Tajweed. And what about these rules of Ikhfaa Shafawee? This is when Meemu Saakinah, when you have a silent meme, mostly which kind of silent meme? The meme that has nothing. You have a meme that has nothing. When you have it coming before a ba that have a sound like it can have a fatha, it can have a kasra, it can have a dhamma. Okay, so that's those you'll see the meme sakin there. The meme sakin that you're seeing there is actually the meme that's not having anything, and because of that, it's gonna have two counts. So because the ba is coming after it, so that's نورهم بينهم, right? نورهم right? بين أيديهم. This is an ayah in the Quran, right? In Surah Al-Hadid, right? نورهم بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم, right? نورهم بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم. So when you pronounce this one, you will have إخفاء الشفوي here, meaning you pronounce this meme with ghunna because it's completely silent. So the meme or sakin that doesn't have anything will have complete ghunna, two count, right? So but the first situation is when you have a ba right after. It's called Ikhfa Shafawee. Okay, or this example here. بينهم بسور, right? وما لهم به من علم, right? That's an ayah in the Quran, right? وما لهم به, right? You see, you do gunna here. Okay, so this is called Ikhfa Shafawee, and it happens only when you have a ba coming after a silent meme, and that silent meme will have nothing, meaning it's gonna be completely silent. Okay, that's the Ikhfa Shafawee. Let's talk about the second part, the second type of meme sakin, which is what? Al-Idgham, right? We call it Idgham Mithlain, some call it Idgham Shafawee. So the ghamis lane or idgham shafawee is when you have a meme that's silent and you have right after it that letter meme. So that's why it's called idgham mithlaini as-saghir, right? Idgham mithlain as-saghir. When you have a meme sakin like we have here, but you don't have any letter after it except a meme again, right? So two memes coming together. But the first one that comes before is what? Is a silent, complete silent meme. And you have the one that comes after it is a meme that's mutaharrik. It has a haraka. It has a haraka. And so idgham is going to happen here. And so if you have heard about idgham before, we've not learned, I think we've talked about this also maybe last year in advanced modules, which I taught. I described the ahkam of nun second and tanween. You will see all those lessons there. So what will happen here is exactly what happened in Ikhfa Shafawee. So you will do the ghunna for two counts. Of course, there's gonna be idgham because these two letters will not come together, right? So this meme here will sound as if it's not pronouncing. But we'll be doing meme, the rules of meme mushaddada. So the rules of meme and nun mushaddada, these are a form of complete ghunna. So you see how I pronounce this one? This will be amalihim min, right? Or this ma'akum min fahum min. So you're doing idgham. So in idgham, what's happening is that you're not actually pronouncing a letter. So this meme here, that's a second meme because it's now having another letter right after it that's a meme. So you have to do idgham. So that letter that you have, the first meme is going to be sakin, meaning it's silent. So you'll do the idgham of this meme to this meme, meaning you're gonna merge this silent meme onto the meme that have a sound, right? So in that way, you're doing the tashdid and you're applying the rules of shadda on the meme here, right? So ma'akum min fahum min. So just to recap before I go further, there are two kind of meme sakin. So the meme sakin that has nothing, right? The silent meme that has no sound on it, no sukun, nothing. It's that one. That one, anytime you pronounce it with any letter after it, you will have a gunna sound. So you have a kind of two count of nonation sound, right? Of nisa sound. So idgham al-shafawi and ikhfa al-shafawi. The third part of or the third kind of Meemu Saakinah rule is when you have any other letter aside from a ba and a meme right after a silent meme. And you will see that the silent meme that will be Izhaar Shafawee, mostly they will have a alf sakun sukun on them. They will have the alf sakun sukun on them. All the Meemu Saakinah that you will see that have the alf sakun sukun on them, those are Izhaar Shafawee. Those are called what? Izhaar Shafawee. So those meme, there will not be any ghunnah. There will not be any ghunnah on them whatsoever. So there's no idgham, there's no ikhfa. You will pronounce them normally. So like this is ma'akum ayna, right? This one is minhum fasiqun innakum lafi. So sometimes, this is why it's good to understand the tajweed rules very well. Because when you're doing the hifz of the Quran, when you're memorizing the Quran, once you know these rules, you know what is going to apply. Because you don't even need to see the Quran for you to know what will apply. Why? Because when you're reciting the Quran and you see that there's a meme in an ayah you're reciting, and right after that meme, there's a letter. That's not a ba, that's not a meme. So you would know that there will not be any ghunnah there. So if someone is reciting Quran and says, Innakum lafi, that person does not even understand tajweed at all. Because they've actually added something to the Quran that way. If they said innakum lafi, they don't understand anything about tajweed and they've actually messed up the recitation that way. But if someone understand the Quran and they know that there's a Meemu Saakinah, but the letter that comes right after that Meemu Saakinah is not a ba, it's not a meme, then they should know, right, even not without seeing the Quran, knowing that there will not be any ghunnah in that kind of recitation, right? But once one is reciting Quran, they know, oh, there's a Meemu Saakinah, a silent meme, and they see that, oh, the meme have a letter ba after it, or the meme has a letter meme right after it. Then that will inform right away that that kind of recitation should have a ghunnah sound. That kind of recitation should have a ghunnah sound. So let's go and try to read some ayats to practice today. And so this will bring us to the end of the discussion. Sorry, I have my little boy here with me, learning together. So let's recite this. So this will be Salhum ayyuhum bidhalika za'im. Or this هو الذي خلقكم فمنكم كافر ومنكم مؤمن. That's part of the ayah, or this ayah. ألم يأتكم نبأ الذين كفروا من قبل فذاقوا وبال أمرهم ولهم عذاب أليم. Right? So we recited this one earlier. سلهم أيهم بذلك زعيم. Or the last ayah. فهل ترى لهم من باقية. So you see, there's a rule here we've not learned this semester here online together with all of you following me for the last 4 months. Hopefully we'll learn it later on, the ahkam of Nun Sakin and Tanween. Inshallah, we'll get to that later on, inshallah. Okay, so this has brought us to the end of this, lessons today. I'm gonna have you all check this out. These are practice for any of you who's actually following us for the last 4 months. If your child has watched the entire video curriculum, by now they should be able to recite all these ayah. So this ayah, screenshot it or get ayah to get them recited. Or this one as well, they can recite it and apply all the rules of tajweed that we've learned so far. So this is going to bring us to the end of the lesson today. And inshallah, if you want to actually learn more about how this program works, I've said this many times, and for those of you just listening to me for the first time ever, this is Imam Muhammad from Mahir Academy and the founder. I was a co-founder, I founded this together with my wife, and of course, we've been supported by over 40 strong staff for the last, I would say, 6 months. So if you want to get started with us and be part of the community of Quran reciters and learn to get your child become an hafiz, memorize the Quran very faster, they need to learn to read the Quran first, very well on their own tajweed. So we actually getting this done within 4 months for students here. So if you're excited about this opportunity for your child, do not wait, do not stay. There are issues that prevent students from learning the Quran and being fluent reciters. So join us, put interested below this video So you can join us in our next coming parent demo session, where we'll walk you through the exact system and the program, the days, the tuition, and everything about the program. So you can give your child the edge and get started right away, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.